a proud sponsor of Florida State football, heard right here on WOCA, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. The U.S. Army devising a new Ebola quarantine strategy, saying troops returning from virus-stricken West African nations must be isolated for 21 days.
Chiefs of the other services have told Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel they want the same thing for their forces.
Fox Radio's Steve Taylor.
The argument against it says isolating people who show no symptoms will leave a lot of military personnel sidelined for weeks and make it harder to get medical people to go to Africa.
Residents in northern Nigeria say dozens more young women have been abducted recently by the extremist group Boko Haram.
Despite reports that the group had agreed to a ceasefire and the release of more than 200 girls taken from their boarding school. More than 6 months on, the girls are still missing.
Fox Radio's Emily Wither. Toyota extends its winning streak in Consumer Reports' yearly reliability rankings. Its Toyota and Lexus brands top the list. Toyota's led the rankings for 8 years in a row. Fox News, we report, you decide.
I'm Lex Friedman. I run my own business, so I know from experience, hiring new employees can be tough. Posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality candidates. If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites, and now you can. With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 50-plus job sites, including Craigslist, LinkedIn, and Twitter, all with a single click. Find candidates in any industry nationwide. Just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll into ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. No juggling emails or calls to your office. Quickly screen candidates, rate them, and hire the right person fast. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 200,000 businesses. And right now, our listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/info. That's ZipRecruiter.com/info. One more time, to try it for free, go to ZipRecruiter.com/info.
On this episode of What Not to Do, brought to you by
Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it.
Honey.
In here.
Are you tearing up the bathroom? I thought we agreed to let Mike Scott Plumbing handle this on Monday.
Yeah, I know, but I got this. I watched a how-to video on YouTube.
Oh, well. So instead of calling the professionals at Mike Scott Plumbing, who, by the way, do this for a living, and wait, is that a jackhammer?
Yep, watch this. Let the master show you how it's done. Okay, we may have an ever so slight leaking problem.
Great job, Mr. Genius. Now you broke the water line.
No, that was like that when I got here.
Well, looks like the only thing you've mastered is the art of making a mess. So now I'm picking up the phone and calling Mike Scott Plumbing, who won't charge us extra for nights, weekends, or holidays.
No, wait, I can fix this. Just hand me that.
The only thing I'm handing you is the phone. No, wait, I'll handle this. 237-2888.
On next week's episode of What Not to Do.
The fire department.
Are you tired of not using your home's outdoor space for entertaining or relaxation because of all the bugs and leaves? Consider adding a beautiful screen room or glass enclosure. We are Superior Aluminum and Design, a family-owned and operated business with 20 years experience in the aluminum industry, and we are accredited by the Better Business Bureau. If you appreciate superior workmanship, call Superior Aluminum and Design at 817-8058 or visit us on the web at superiораluminumdesign.com.
Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. right here on The Source, WOCA. Don't miss Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement with your hosts, Francois Cousinet and Julianne Cousinet. They'll be giving you information about your retirement funds and answering your questions with live call-in. So don't miss it, Saturdays from 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
Back on the Voice of Ocala on a Monday in the beautiful city of Ocala, Florida. We come to you from the palatial studios of WOCA Radio outside the food court entrance to the Paddock Mall. I'm Tom Schmitz. Buddy Martin joins us in the 4 o'clock hour along with Johnny Walker. We were discussing, Johnny, the Ebola epidemic and the way we have become frightened in the United States. let's put this in perspective. More people are going to die from the flu this flu season than Ebola. Okay, I want to put that in perspective. Yes, the flu. Somebody says, "Well, that's like the airplane and car crash thing. It's much safer to fly in a plane." Yeah, but most people that fly in a plane, when it crashes, die. Most people that crash in a car don't die. Okay, it's more dangerous to drive in a car because there's more crashes.
Yeah.
But you live through most of the crashes in a car crash. You die almost always in a plane crash. So which is better for you? It's like, more people are going to get the flu this year than Ebola. Well, yeah, but everybody that gets Ebola, most of the people, 70% of the people get Ebola die from Ebola. Yeah, I get that. And only about 15% of the people that get the flu die from the flu. Problem is, millions will get the flu this year. Thousands will get Ebola.
Yeah.
So let's put it in perspective. Now, that doesn't take away from it. It is a very serious disease and epidemic that we need to stay on top of. But we need to stop with the hysteria.
Yeah, I mean, because so many people are getting...
Somebody's got Ebola in New York City. They rode the subway. Oh, God, we're all going to die. See, to stop that. You're not.
Yeah, and I've heard people saying, like, oh, it's coming, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's almost like, the government's put this out there. They're going to kill us all. Stop it. There are ways to catch Ebola. There are people that put out guidelines on what to do if you think somebody has Ebola. Now, Johnny, do you have those guidelines?
Yeah, Monroe Regional Medical Center actually sent me something today, and they said they're working closely with the CDC and monitoring all updates for this particular guidance on Ebola. And they said their primary focus is preparation to appropriately identify, isolate, test, and transfer anybody that has symptoms of Ebola. And then it says training has been provided for emergency department staff and screening protocols as posted for all clinicians and nurses dealing with these particular situations. So they went on to say, we are using these screening guidelines with all patients who present at the emergency department with risk factors and symptoms that could be associated with Ebola. Yeah, and they basically went on to say that their hospitals dedicated isolation rooms and supplies of gowns, masks, face shields, and gloves are all on site and ready to take on any possible Ebola cases. So.
Right. So our offices are doing a good job getting ready. So
yes, definitely. I mean, there's no more information at this time. So I mean, they're taking all risk factors to prepare for cases of Ebola if it was to come to Marion County.
Well, very good, very good. Stay on top of that for us.
Yes, I will. Yeah.
All right, you got Dr. Buddy. Dr. Buddy, who is not going to be here today, sent me his Dr. Buddy tips, and I'm going to give them to you today. So let's get the Barry White music. Can't get enough of Your Love, Baby, I think is the song.
Yeah.
Let's get Barry White up. Barry's got it going on. Let's pull Barry White up there.
Yeah, just a second. Barry White. Okay.
Oh, we go now?
We are go now.
So, this is Dr. Buddy for today. The 9 most overlooked threats to a marriage. 9 most overlooked threats to a marriage. Marital communication, because everyone gangs up on him. Okay. So here are the 9 tips to threats to an overlooked marriage. We marry people because we like who they are. People change. Plan on it. Don't marry someone because of who they are or who they want to be. Marry them because of who they're determined to become. I like that. Marriage doesn't take away our loneliness. To be alive is to be lonely. It's a human condition. Marriage doesn't change the human condition. It's very good. Shame baggage. Yes, we all carry it. We spend most of our adolescence and early adulthood trying to pretend our shame doesn't exist. When the person we love triggers it on us, we blame them for creating it. We demand they fix it. Sometimes the best marital therapy is individual therapy. They can't fix it because they didn't create it. Maybe you need to fix it. Your shame baggage. Number 4, ego wins. We all have one. We came by it honestly. Probably sometime around the 4th grade. It kept us safe from emotional slings and arrows, but now that we're grown and married, the ego is the wall that separates. It's time for it to come down. Practice openness instead of defensiveness, forgiveness instead of vengeance, apology instead of blame, vulnerability instead of strength, and grace instead of power. It's very good there. Number 5, life is messy and marriage is life. So marriage is messy too. But when things stop working perfectly, we start blaming our partner. We add unnecessary mess to the already mess of life. We must stop pointing fingers and start intertwining them. We can walk into this together and through this mess of life, blameless and shameless. I like that. Number 6, empathy is hard. By its very nature, empathy cannot happen simultaneously between two people. One partner must always go first, and there's no guarantee of reciprocation. A lifelong empathy standoff will exist if you don't do that. It's a sacrifice. Most of us wait for our partners to go first. When one partner actually does take the empathy plunge, it's almost always a belly flop. The truth is, people we love are fallible human beings, and they will never be a perfect mirror we desire. So always have empathy and try to be the one that goes first. Number 7, we care more about our children than the one who helped us make them. Our kids should never be more important than our marriage, and they should never be less important. They should be on equal ground. You should never use a kid to drive a wedge between you and your partner. If they're less important, they'll act out until they're given priority. Family is about constant, ongoing work of finding balance. I agree with that. And a lot of times people use kids in the middle of divorces, which is just ridiculous. The hidden power struggle. Number 8, the hidden power struggle. These are 9 threats to 9 most overlooked threats to a marriage. This is from the Huffington Post. Dr. Buddy today on the Voice of Ocala. Number 8, the hidden power struggle. Most conflict in marriage is at least in part a negotiation around the level of interconnectedness between lovers. Men usually want less, women want more. Sometimes those roles are reversed. Regardless, when you read between the lines of most fights, that is the question you'll find. Who gets to decide how much distance we keep between us? If we don't ask that question explicitly, we'll fight about it implicitly forever. So set boundaries. And number 9, finally, we don't know how to maintain interest in one thing or one person anymore. We live in a world pulling our attention in a million different directions. The practice of meditation, attending to one thing and then returning our attention to it when we become distracted over and over is an essential art. When we're constantly encouraged to attend to shiny surfaces of things and to move on when we get a little bored, making our life a meditation upon the person we love is a revolutionary act. And it's absolutely essential if any marriage is to survive. So you got to, all these things say, Johnny, and you're not marriage age yet, but all these things say that marriage is work. Sometimes work is fun. Sometimes you got to get your hands dirty when you work. Sometimes it's not going to be fun. You got to check your ego at the door at times, and you have to show a little empathy towards your partner. If you do all those things, there's still no guarantee it's going to work. But it'll probably work better than if you don't do those things. That's all I got. That's the best Dr. Buddy I can give you right there. Dr. Buddy on the Voice of Ocala. That's not enough. And that's really not Dr. Buddy. That's just me reading what Dr. Buddy sent me. So that help you? You got some lifelong stuff out of that? You'll be able to.
I guess.
Now you'll be able to get along in life, Johnny, you think?
Yeah.
For some reason I don't believe you, Johnny. I just don't believe you. So, who we got coming up? Buddy just sent me who we got coming up on the show today. Oh, excuse me. Today we got John Brantley talking about the 1974 Ocala High reunion that they just had at 4:35. Tom Ingram's coming on. I guess he'll want to get beat at Fake or Factoid. That's why he's coming on. Tim Ryan, the head coach of CF basketball, he'll join us at 5:05. Of course, Franz Beard at 5:20, and then Joe Williams from Mile High Sports at 5:40. So we're going to pack 2 hours when we get back, plus tweets and quotes.
Yep.
And you haven't beat me in Fake or Factoid yet, have you?
Yeah, the first time.
You did? You sure? I don't remember that.
Yep.
I don't think you won. I think I won.
Well, I kind of stink at the game. But.
Well, you are not good. I'll give you that. You're not good.
Nope.
So there's a town in Hawaii. And I want to tell you about this town when we come back from break. It's got something going on that I don't know that I'd be able to know how to deal with it. It's got something speeding towards it 15 yards an hour. Doesn't sound like it's speeding, but according to what scientists say, it's moving pretty quick at 15 yards an hour. I'll tell you what that is next on the Voice of Ocala. So we wrap up hour number 1, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Stay with us and sleep better at the Sleep Inn and Suites of Ocala Bellevue, located next door to Don Garlett's Museum and a few minutes from Florida Horse Park. Our award-winning, newly refreshed Sleep Inn and Suites offers comfy, clean rooms, free fast Wi-Fi, and service with a smile. Start your day with a deluxe hot breakfast and unwind in our heated outdoor pool. Our convenient 24-hour fitness and business centers allow you to stay on track whether you're here to play or to work. That's Sleep Inn and Suites Ocala Bellevue, proud sponsor of Marion County High School football.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm the football your buddy fired through your windshield. The cooler that tumbled out of a pickup and onto the hood of your car. If you're a football fan, eventually we're gonna meet. So get Allstate, where agents help keep you protected from mayhem. Like me.
Are you in good hands?
Hey, this is Kevin McDonald, your local Allstate agent. Call me at 622-2333 and let's make sure you're in good hands.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Mainly clear skies in your forecast this evening and lows 61 to 68. Then for Tuesday, sunny to partly cloudy, highs 83 to 87. For Tuesday evening, partial cloud cover and lows between 63 and 68. Wednesday, a partly sunny day, highs 83 to 87. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Sarah Lauer.
This weather brought to you by A&A Lock Dock. Did you know that most break-ins happen during bad weather because it masks the sound? Don't be another victim. Protect your home and business today. Call A&A Lock Dock, 352-867-1965. That's 352-867-1965. Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
I'm Major George Patterson from the Salvation Army. Please stop by our family store at 120 Northwest 10th Street in Ocala, where on Wednesday you have a 50% off clothing and bric-a-brac. On Friday, 25% off furniture and large appliances. And on Saturday, stop by to our yard sale from 8:45 to 11. Donations can be made by calling 352-732-4469 and we'll pick it up. Funds from the store go toward the services that we provide in Marion County.
Hello? Can you hear me? Because if you can, then so can your customers. Radio works. Call today to advertise your business right here on WOCA 1370, The Source.
Welcome back to the Voice of Ocala. Hawaii, was built by volcanoes erupting. It's on a hot spot on the mantle of the earth, and as the mantle breaks open, volcanoes erupt and lava comes out. And they call those hot, like the Hawaiian Islands are all a hot spot. Those are very active areas. Well, Kilauea, the volcano who started erupting in 82 and is steadily in eruption, has been spewing lava for years, but usually the lava runs off and runs down the ocean. Well, the lava has changed direction recently, and now it's flowing towards the village of Pahoa. And it sped up over the weekend to where the lava's moving a foot a minute, or 60 feet an hour, or 15 yards an hour. It is now 720 yards from the outskirts of the community of Pahoa, a community of 950 people, 945 people. Leaders from the Civil Defense Agency sent workers door to door in the community Sunday, informing them of the possible need to get out, just leave your homes, because this is 2,000 degree lava. It just catches you to burn your house slap up. Yeah. And these houses are right in the way of this lava flow. And I thought, well, why don't you just get some water and spray on the lava flow and create a lava wall there, and then the lava, and they said that would work till the lava goes over the top of that. So, it's lava. Yeah, it's lava. It's going to keep going. Yeah. So you can't cool it off fast enough. So, I don't understand how you tell these people it's 720 yards from your house, from the outskirts. It's moving at 150 yards every 10 hours. So you do that math, that's in, less than 72 hours, it's on you. Yeah. Every 10 hours it moves 150 yards. In 40 hours it's moved 600 yards. Yeah, you're done. The next 10 hours, yeah, it's on the outskirts. It's at the first house in that town. Mm-hmm. So we're talking in less than 2 full days. It'll be there Tuesday, is what they're thinking. And, houses will become tinder. And I tell people all the time when people get so upset, they're like, oh, we live on the side of a mountain in California and it caught on fire and our house burnt down. You shouldn't. You knew that fire was part of the problem there. Just like I think that as long as you got good insurance and everything, don't whine. You knew what you were building. Mm-hmm. Somebody says, how can you say that? Because I live in the middle of Hurricane Valley. I know where I live in Florida. If my home gets destroyed from hurricanes, I knew that was a probability when I moved back to Florida. I knew that there's a possibility that one day I could come home and the back of my house could be gone because a hole could just create, the aquifer could just create a sinkhole right in my backyard. That's part of where we live. Just like if you live in certain parts of Arkansas, Alabama, Oklahoma, and Texas, you live in Tornado Alley. Mm-hmm. And that's where the influx of warm weather from the Gulf and cold weather from Canada come and meet, and it creates severe thunderstorms and tornadoes. So these people in Hawaii, and I love the attitude of people in Hawaii, they're like, it's not like we didn't know about this volcano. It happened before. It's going to happen again. That's why we choose to live. Once it happens, you hate to see all your stuff burn up, but we'll just move it out of the way, what we can move out of the way, and we'll just come back and rebuild when we can, or we'll go somewhere else. They understand. They decided to live there on the beautiful Hawaiian Islands, but one of the downfalls is, by the way, it's on top of volcanoes. Good for the Hawaiian people. They just take, but don't you always get the idea that all Hawaiian people take everything in stride? Yeah. It's just, look, I live in Hawaii. It's not that stressful. It's Hawaii. So I think that's why Dog the Bounty Hunter had to move from Hawaii. He was too stressed out all the time. I think it had something to do with that mullet, though, he was still sporting. You know what I mean? That may have had something to do with it. Maybe. That was a terrible show, Dog the Bounty Hunter. Hey, coming up, hour number 2 of the Voice of Ocala, John Brantley comes on the show to tell us about the 1974 Ocala High Reunion. Buddy Martin joins the show, and in the 5 o'clock hour, Joe Williams, Franz Beard, and Tim Ryan. All that coming up on the Voice of Ocala on a Monday, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
charged with bank approval. Vehicle purchase process effects trade allowance.
Fumble! I was so busy making my fantasy football picks that I forgot to stock up on inventory, and now I need cars fast, so I'm calling for an inventory blitz. Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales. This month, bring me in your old car, and you could score the nicer, newer ride you've been fantasizing about for just $10 down.
Sack your old car.
And start driving the nicer, newer car of your dreams for just $10 down. Don't get fouled by past credit problems.
Our For the People credit approval process is the game changer you've been waiting for.
We huddle up the banks and lenders to help you get approved and back in the game. So stop driving a car you hate.
Punt it and drive a nicer, newer car for just $10 down today.
I'm throwing in a Hail Mary to make my month, and I need your help. Trade in your old car, and you could drive for just $10 down. But don't wait till the clock runs out. This deal is over when my inventory is full. I'm Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit us at Prestige Auto Sales or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
If you've been hearing about the crowded Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill and were worried because you couldn't get in, I've got some good news for you. Seating is now available. While you're there, look up Chef Dave Del Rio. He'll buy you a drink. Now is the time for you to finally see firsthand what your friends are talking about at Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill. Try Chef Dave's tantalizing Louisiana menu. Check out those gorgeous Legwear sunsets. Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill on beautiful Legwear. Seating now available.
Let's give it up for old asphalt and a new pair of shoes. Let's give it up for a good rhythm meeting a sweet melody. For a church cookout under clear skies. Let's give it up for good things coming together, like bundling your auto and other policies together with an Allstate agent, which can save you time and keep you better protected. Let's give it up for good.
To receive your comparative insurance quote, contact the McDonald Agency at 622-2333.
My name is Bo Briggs. I'm a sixth-generation Ocala, and I practice law with my father at the Briggs Law Firm. Over the years, we've seen many changes to Ocala and many changes in our profession. What has not changed is our commitment to our clients. You will speak with and get to know your attorney. That will never change. A lawyer will personally handle your case, not a paralegal. So if you've been injured in an accident and would appreciate personal attention, you can reach us at 671-4600 or learn more at thebriggslawfirm.com.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
What you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Not having friends or family is twice as harmful as obesity and has the same negative impact on your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day or not getting any exercise. Because we're all squinting to see our tiny screens, we're creating wrinkles. So increase your font size to grandma size like I do. Men who aren't chivalrous send the message that they're not thoughtful and have no interest in showing compassion for other people.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Stay informed on everything going on in the villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
News Talk 1370. WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults. So use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370 WOCA.
your source for the #1 sports weekends. Fox Sports, only on 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Who'd been forcibly quarantined in New Jersey after having contact with Ebola patients has been released. The White House is okay with that.
Her service and commitment to this cause is something that should be honored and respected, and I don't think we do that by making her live in a tent.
Spokesman Josh Earnest, Hickox tested negative for the virus. Meanwhile, the Army has quarantined a general and 11 staffers who are returning from West Africa. They were part of the U.S. Ebola response team. One student victim of Friday's school shooting near Seattle is improving. Sadly, another has died.
14-year-old Gia Soriano died Sunday, but 14-year-old Nick Hatch has been upgraded to satisfactory condition, according to a spokeswoman at Harborview Hospital. 2 other teens are in critical condition. The Snohomish County Medical Examiner's Office says Jalen Freiberg died of a gunshot wound to the head, and they've ruled his death a suicide.
Fox Radio's Jessica Rosenthal. Fox News, we report, you decide.
I'm Lex Friedman. I run my own business, so I know from experience, hiring new employees can be tough. Posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality candidates. If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites, and now you can. With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 50-plus job sites, including Craigslist, LinkedIn, and Twitter, all with a single click. Find candidates in any industry nationwide. Just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll into ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. No juggling emails or calls to your office. Quickly screen candidates, rate them, and hire the right person fast. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 200,000 businesses. And right now, our listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/info. That's ZipRecruiter.com/info. One more time, to try it for free, go to ZipRecruiter.com/info.
Yes, it's time again for Buddy Martin. Call him up and tell him what you're thinking. But be kind because he's doing the best he can.
I'm just sick of all the amateur stuff, you know? I mean, like, if I'm paying top dollar, I want a little production value, you know? Like some editing, transition, something, some music.
Don't worry, we didn't leave you.
He's gone? He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Our bosses say we gotta stay.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei.
It's time for the second hour of The Voice of Ocala.
Hoo-ah! You ever come across anything like time travel?
Come on, stick around. It's free.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win.
Hello, welcome to another edition of a program called The Voice of Ocala. I'm Buddy Martin. Thanks to Tom Schmitz for carrying hour one. A little sidetracked here with an issue today and not able to make it in for the first hour. And if this is streaming live, you can probably see the steam coming out of my ears. I just settle me down, Tom. Did you have to go by the bank again? No, just settle me down for right now. We need to relax. I'm going to try not to go off because I am super ticked off today. Well, you had an experience that all of us have experienced at one time or another. It's not just me. It's the person who's suffering because of it. I understand. It really gets me. Anyway, let's see if we can get through this without me going into a tirade because I am completely volatile enough just to do that. And I don't think people want to be bored for the next 2 hours of my tirade. Program today, we've got a lot of guests today and glad to have them aboard. John Brantley joins us here in about 15 minutes or so. A significant event happened in 1974. The Forest High Wildcats won their first of back-to-back state championships in football. And there was a group of people who met over the weekend to commemorate that. John Brantley, of course, was the quarterback. Scott Brantley played. There are others on that team. I just asked Johnny Brantley to kind of ramble down memory lane with us today because those are some great days for Wildcat football fans. So we'll be talking to John Brantley in just a few minutes. He, of course, the head coach of the Trinity Catholic Celtics. 4:35, went to an event over the weekend, and I must say that it was A+. You ever go to one of those things where, first of all, it was an inconvenient time for me to go. I had the invitation for 3 or 4 weeks, but I had other things that were pressing. And I really just didn't feel like going. I was tired. The week was in, and I had a conflict, but I said, well, I need to do this because, I know it's a good event. It's a great cause, and, of course, it's our friend Tom Ingram. So I manned up, and I went. Turned out it was a terrific event, and I'm glad I went. I'm glad I did go, although I had to, it was a little difficult to stay very long, and I enjoyed the time and saw a bunch of guests. A lot of our friends and a lot of your friends, Tom Schmitz, were there. I told you about it over the weekend, and it was honoring. It was an evening with Guy Harvey. I'll tell you about that with Tom at 4:35. Talk about a list of people. They were there. A lot of our friends, and raised a lot of money for a good cause. And let Tom tell you about that. In sports, it's going to be a busy hour. Basketball's already here. Yes. The CF Patriots are playing exhibition games, and they'll play their first game on Saturday night. Really?
And we are, of course, the voice of CF basketball. So we're going to get Coach Tim Ryan on. We usually have him on before now. Somehow it slipped away from us this year. And we'll chat with him about his club this year. He's got an all-new club, 12 people, and we'll get a little thumbnail of him about, so we know who this team is. And they're playing on Saturday. And, of course, they were the national champions 2 years ago. Let's not forget that. Time to catch up with Franz Beard, talk about a number of stories. A former Gator player who played for Steve Spurrier on the national championship team died suddenly over the weekend. I'll tell you about that. Also, quite a weekend of football. Certainly, Ole Miss getting knocked off by LSU. I didn't see that one coming. That changed the game a lot. And what a terrific performance by the South Carolina Gamecocks, who fell one touchdown short of at least tying in a game where every other possession they scored, and every other possession their team scored. It was one punt in the game, I believe. 42-35, Auburn at home. What a gallant performance by the Gamecocks, and they couldn't quite pull it. And it turns out the last play should have been played over. There were two players on the field for Auburn wearing the same number, which, by the way, is a penalty.
It's a penalty, yeah.
Another thing is, why do they have so many people with two numbers? I hate that.
I don't understand why they do it.
I hate that. I hate seeing spring training baseball games with pitchers running in the outfield, okay?
Right.
And I hate seeing people wear those double numbers, and I hate seeing linemen and defensive and linebackers wearing single-digit numbers. I hate that. They thought, where are linebackers there? What's wrong with 55,
It's the greatest number I know of.
Yeah, I know. And so that's why I called it out. But the bottom line is this is why you have this deal. Why would you ever have two players on the field with the same number?
Well, you know as well as I do.
I'm really getting worked up now.
You know as well as I do. Growing up, single numbers were for wide receivers or quarterbacks. Double numbers up to 18 were for quarterbacks.
Single numbers were for quarterbacks when I grew up. Single and double all the way up to 18 and 19.
Right, but wide receivers have the 80s.
I could give them.
Running backs have the 20s and the 30s.
Right.
Linebackers have the 40s and the 50s.
Right.
Fullbacks have the 40s.
40s, right.
Linemen have the high 50s through the 70s.
They had 60s and 70s where I come from.
60s, tight ends and wide receivers had 80s, and linemen had defensive linemen had 90s.
That's what you call world order. That's the proper way to do it. And why? Because some kid was recruited. Don't get me started on this. Some kid was recruited. He wore numbers 4 in high school. Therefore, he can play tackle and wore number 4. I mean, come on.
Like the defensive end for Florida right now, I can't bring his name up. Junior. What's his name? The defensive lineman. He's defensive end right now for the University of Florida.
You're asking me when all I can see is a sheet of red right now. I'm so ticked off about that. I
can't remember
something.
His name.
I know you're talking about. Go ahead.
He wears number 6.
Yeah.
He's a defensive end.
Yeah.
He should wear 77 or 78, something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, that's another story. But two guys on the same squad, the same field, 11 guys with the same number on the play. Should have had it over.
Well, let me ask you this. You think your weekend was bad with that kind of loss for Spurrier? Yesterday, I'm watching the Falcons-Lions game. I get up early. It's an game in England. I get up early. Yeah. The Lions going to kick a game-winning field goal. They missed the field goal. The Falcons win.
Yeah. Nope, not so fast.
Detroit, delay of game penalty. So Detroit gets a penalty and gets rewarded by getting a second chance kicking the game winner and kicks the game winner.
They ought to give him. They ought to give him a chance to decline the delay of game penalties on situations like that.
Yeah, because
there should be certain things where they can decline
because it doesn't penalize anybody.
It penalized Detroit,
right?
But it didn't. It gave them another chance at a kick that the kicker shouldn't have missed.
All right. Anyway, so we're getting off into our sports tangent now. Yeah. So let's get back on the script here, which is, as I said, quite a weekend. We'll talk to Joe Williams, round up the weekend. And I heard the replay of Joe's interview Saturday going down the highway when you had him on Saturday. And Joni and I both remarked that just Joe Williams is a real pro. He knows his college football.
Oh, yeah. He's very
a pleasure
good
to watch, listen to, and we've had him on for years, and we're going to have him again today. All right, let's go and take a break. Come back. We'll talk to John Brantley next about his Forest High School reunion of the state champions coming up next right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's national magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz.
Hi, I'm State Farm agent Angie Lewis. Come see me and my team for all your insurance and financial needs in the beautiful downtown historic district, 416 East Fort King Street, or call 291-2444.
Being the Culligan man is not easy because he works hard every day for you here in North Central Florida. Whether you need bottled water delivery for your office, a home water softener, or water infiltration system, the Culligan man can help you. At Culligan, North Florida, we have dozens of softener and filtration options, along with a host of media tank sizes. Depending on the exact hardness and usage of your water, we determine the size of softener you're going to need. And if you're on city or well water in one of our local areas, the in-home water analysis is absolutely free. If your needs are for the home, call Ocala Water Conditioning, 352-291-5900. For home or business bottled water in Ocala, call Ocala Bottled Water, 352-291-5900. Culligan of North Florida, a proud sponsor of Florida State football, heard right here on WOCA, The Source.
Right on the southwestern corner of the square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Mainly clear skies in your forecast this evening and lows 61 to 68. Then for Tuesday, sunny to partly cloudy, highs 83 to 87. For Tuesday evening, partial cloud cover and lows between 63 and 68. Wednesday, a partly sunny day, highs 83 to 87. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Sarah Lauer.
This weather brought to you by OcalaForSale.com, where you too can be a sellout. Give them a call at 629-1663 or just go to OcalaForSale.com.
I'm a sellout. You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
WOCA,
This is WOCA, News Talk 1370.
WOCA.
Back at Voice of Ocala. He's busy. He's getting ready for a big game this week again. The Trinity Celtics are trying to do it all and get a chance to win the state again this year. And John Brantley joins us now. But we're talking about a football team that played a long, long time ago. 1974 state champion, Forest High School Wildcats reunion this weekend. And John Brantley, you were there. That must have been quite a reunion.
I tell you what, I saw some guys, I haven't seen since we graduated. And that's,
really?
It's unfortunate in some instances, but a lot of people traveled from afar to get back there to be a part of it, and had an outstanding group there. And Coach Hall and Coach Romeo, Coach Simmons, and Coach Athanison, and Mikey Kelly, who was the principal at that time, were all there. So it was a special night for a good group of guys.
That was one of the really great periods of sports and football in the history of this town and county. And I know you're busy right now with your team, but I think it's important to name off a lot of the names and talk about how you guys did it. You guys had a machine, and there's a first of two straight state championships. What was the classification then, John? 4AA, or what was it?
Well, we were 3A, and there was only four classes back then, right. 1A through 4A, and we were 3A, and beat Auburndale in the first round, beat Stark 6-0 in the second round, then played Hollywood Chaminade for the state championship with the Shula boys down there, and beat them pretty good in the state championship game in Ocala. All three games were in Ocala. And the thing, buddy, like you're talking about being special about being in Ocala, back then, there was only Forest and Vanguard in the city, and North Marion was, and Lake Weir was just getting really started at that time. No Bellevue, no Westport. And what made it special is the people in Ocala got behind that team. Once the other guys, were not in the playoffs, that's the thing I'm more proud of is the Vanguard guys, the people in town. That team was rallied by all the people in Ocala who got behind it to see us be successful. And that's what made it special. It wasn't just the Forest guys. The city of Ocala got behind that football team, and that's what made it a lot of fun. Booster, you couldn't even get a seat. The city had to bring in seats for the end zones and the standing room only, and starting with the 8th and 9th game of the year against Leesburg, two undefeated teams. Booster Stadium was packed every weekend. The next Thursday was Thanksgiving morning against Vanguard, an 18-16 great football game, and then the 3 playoff games. And this city rallied behind the Cats.
Who did y'all beat in the championship game?
Hollywood Chaminade.
That was a Shula team?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, the boys were on it. David Shula was the quarterback and everything. Had a couple of Shula boys. Matter of fact, Don was at the game. Coach Shula was at the game that night.
Okay. And then the following year, you won it again.
Yep. Scott and Russell Kurt and Todd Scudder and all those guys came back. And as seniors for those guys, they won it again in 75. So went back to back. The only thing that was different was that the 75 team lost a game to Leesburg during the season, but they came on and won the championship. They had to go on the road, and what made it even more amazing for them to win it, they had to go on the road the next year. We were fortunate enough, 74, to have all the games home. They had to go on the road and win all their games, which they did, and beat Delray Atlantic to win the 75 state championship.
Now, I didn't see that game, but I've heard people say that Leesburg game, that literally Scott Brantley made every tackle.
He made 30, I want to say it's 32 or 34 unassisted tackles that night, and I think the final score was like 7-0. Leesburg scored the one long touchdown to win that game. But it was probably it was a beauty. I'd like to see that film of that game, but that was probably one of the best individual linebacking jobs I've seen in a long time. I happened to be at that game.
That's why everybody in the world, including Barry Bryant, came knocking at his door to get him to go to their school, and one of the great players ever in the history of high school football, period, that alone, Marion County. Scott, not to diminish your qualities, because you led him to a state championship, went on to Florida and played for Steve Spurrier's first quarterback when he was a quarterback coach up at games. But the Brantley boys, and I should say your dad, the late John Jr., had a huge role in that and helping get Marion County youth football started, MCYF football started, and he was a big part of that whole thing. It was quite an era, wasn't it, John?
Well, it was, and you know what? Everybody talks about MCYFL and why it's so important. The senior group, of our senior group, the group that met this past weekend, that was the first year that they had MCYFL, and it was the 8th grade class for the MCYFL. So what that meant is those guys were a part of Marion County Youth Football League. Then they went to high school, and that senior class won the first state championship in Ocala. So just goes to show you that the grooming and the teaching and the coaching that's going on at the MCYFL only enhances success at the levels for the high schools. And all about 90% of my kids here at Trinity are products of the Marion County Youth Football League.
Good point. I think you also alluded to this earlier about everybody being behind the team. Everything was aligned. The community, the schools, the players, the youth program, and the stars all aligned properly at a time for those 2 great seasons, the Forest High School Wildcats, back-to-back champions. It must have been quite an event. Before we let you go, who all can you remember? What names would we recall of people who were there, John? You mentioned a couple.
Some of the good, I mentioned all the coaches, and some of the guys that my 2 receivers were, all 3 of my receivers were there, which made it kind of neat. Cedric Robinson, who was a wide receiver, Bob McCall, who was my tight end, who still lives here in Ocala, and Thomas Jefferson, who played on both those state championships, probably one of the best wide receivers to come out of this area. And he was there on the defensive side of the ball. Joe Fontana, Scott Brantley, Russell Kirk could make it. He's in a big tennis deal out in California. Billy Blair, Hilton Minchin, who was an outstanding safety for us. Joe Fontana, Stuart McCowan, who's down in Tampa, has got his own company down there. A lot of good people were there. I could go on name, but what a special night for all of us.
I bet it was. Well, that's great.
And we've all gotten better, buddy, since that time too.
You get better every year, don't you?
I think I threw 90 touchdown passes that year.
I think by now it's probably 95.
Wait, Coach Brantley, this is Tom Schmitz. How'd you throw all them passes running the wing T? Isn't that y'all ran like a single wing or something, didn't y'all?
That was my
we didn't run that. We did run the I and everything, and it was amazing. We had about 6 of our games videotaped. We had somebody put them on a DVD and everything, so we were watching the other night. Hell, it looked like we only had 6 football plays back then, but I tell you what, we were efficient at it, and that was Coach Hall's belief, and I've got a lot of that belief now. If they can't stop it, keep running it, and then when they start stopping it, go in a different direction. So good times.
This just came across a ticker. You had 100 touchdown passes.
Oh, okay, I thought it was 100, 101. Yeah, I knew it. I keep telling little Johnny I broke all his things.
Exactly.
He's no big deal.
Hey, John, real quick on who you got this weekend.
Got Father Lopez for the district championship. It's our last regular season game. It'll be here at Celtic Field at 7 o'clock. Father Lopez, pretty good little football team. They're in the diocese of the Catholic organization. So they come in here, and if we win, we're the district champions. If somehow they can beat us, there'll be a 3-way tie, and then we got a shootout, I think, the following Monday sometime. So we want to try and avoid that at all costs. So I think our team's ready to go. We got a good plan put together, and excited about hopefully winning another district championship and moving on to the big tournament.
Great. Good luck to you, John. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank y'all.
All right. Appreciate it. Yeah. That was quite an era. Quite an era.
Yeah, to win 2 back-to-back state high school championships, pretty good.
Around here, because I don't know that we won that many. I don't remember one that was won in my lifetime before from Forest. We didn't win one, and I don't remember Best our team could do back in the 50s before my time were 9 wins. Won a few conference titles, but no. Of course, we didn't have a state playoff either, so that made a big difference. Yeah. But the state playoffs didn't come along till later. But no, it's quite an accomplishment. And Scott Brantley was an unbelievable football player in high school and college. And by the way, pretty darn good in the NFL for 10 years too.
Scott, yeah. Scott Brantley's the reason I played linebacker.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he wants credit for that.
But I'm just that's why I picked the position of linebacker.
Yeah.
Because Scott Brantley, when I was a kid, Scott Brantley was the guy that I thought was the greatest Gator to play.
And y'all look about the same.
No, he's much better looking than I am.
About the same size and the same way you look about. So I couldn't tell you apart.
I was a linebacker growing up in Pop Warner football and everything. Yeah. And when I got to high school, the best linebacker in the late 70s, 76, 77, 78, when I was in my 12, 13, 14-year-old was Scott Brantley.
55, double nickel I used to call him. All right, let's take
52, buddy.
Huh?
He wore 52 at Florida.
In high school, college, in high school he wore 55.
Yeah, but in college he wore 52.
55 is what he wore because I called him double nickel. 55.
He wore 52. I'm almost positive.
All right, we'll talk about it. Okay. All right, coming up at 4:35, Tom Ingram. We'll talk about his great event. Doing stuff for the planet and the ocean and whatever. Jacques Cousteau was the magical name back in the day. I don't know if you watched it. My wife used to watch
Jacques Cousteau all the time, yeah.
And we don't have Jacques Cousteau. I think Junior's out there someplace. But probably Guy Harvey could be compared to a commercial Jacques Cousteau because he's done so much as a franchise and also for the ocean, raising money for the causes. And he was over at Gateway Bank on Friday night, and quite a turnout for that. There were people from all kinds of people there. Also, you know everybody there, Tom. Some of your buddies were there, ask about you. They told me a few stories about you, which I can't repeat on the air, by the way. Saw your friend Bruce. They're all chirping about their event coming up Wednesday, the City Putting Championship out of Municipal Golf Course, Ocala, and they're going to have an opportunity to raise some money for animals and the Humane Society. If you haven't heard about it, you ought to check it out. Tom has information on that, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's going to be this Wednesday.
Yeah, at Muni. I just said at Muni. So we will not be out there, but you'll be out there later, right?
No, I'll be out there earlier before the show.
Before the show. All
Setting up my equipment.
I got you. Okay. All right, in the sports hour, we've got plenty to talk about. Crazy weekend of pro and college football. Certainly the Gators were off, and we'll talk about the Florida-Georgia game. Big show tomorrow. The athletic director for University of Georgia, Greg McGarity, will be my guest, along with Tony Barnhart. So we've got quite a day for Georgia folks in the Florida-Georgia game. Lots to come this next half hour. Stay tuned to the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Let's give it up for old asphalt and a new pair of shoes. Let's give it up for a good rhythm meeting a sweet melody. For a church cookout under clear skies. Let's give it up for good things coming together, like bundling your auto and other policies together with an Allstate agent, which can save you time and keep you better protected. Let's give it up for good.
To receive your comparative insurance quote, contact the McDonald Agency at 622-2333.
The next drink is on Dave Del Rio at Eaton's Beach Sand Barn Grill. Just ask him for it. But don't wait. Show up soon because this offer isn't going to last very long. Eaton's Beach Sand Barn Grill will be filling up fast because their friends from the north are headed back that way soon. The good news is that seating is now available and Dave's buying the first drink. If you've been hearing about the crowd at Eaton's Beach Sand Barn Grill and couldn't get in, now you can see firsthand what your friends have been talking about. Great food. Try Chef Dave's tantalizing Floresiana menu. Great location. Check out those gorgeous sunsets over Lake Weir. Great people. Starting with Chef Dave Del Rio, who began his career in 1978. This spicy guy has been instrumental in opening over 100 restaurants. And he's buying you a drink. Eaton's Beach Sand Barn Grill, where there's little or no waiting these days. Come see what started out as Jay Eaton's dream almost 90 years ago. It's more awesome than ever.
Hi, I'm
Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, the new old-fashioned bank. Let us introduce you to Ocus, a simple way to bring your business online. Through this relationship, your business can have a fully functioning website in less than 30 minutes. We will also provide you support with social media, sales tracking, e-commerce, and online scheduling, which is all optimized for mobile users. Ocus, now at Gateway Bank, Silver Springs Boulevard, Ocala. Come visit our technology center for your total small business solution. I'm Tom Ingram, and I'll see you there.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. Nurse Casey Hickox, who'd been forcibly quarantined in New Jersey after having contact with Ebola patients, has been released. The White House is okay with that.
Her service and commitment to this cause is something that should be honored and respected, and I don't think we do that by making her live in a tent.
Spokesman Josh Earnest, Hickox tested negative for the virus. Meanwhile, the Army has quarantined a general and 11 staffers who are returning from West Africa. They were part of the U.S. Ebola response team. One student victim of Friday's school shooting near Seattle is improving. Sadly, another has died.
14-year-old Gia Soriano died Sunday, but 14-year-old Nick Hatch has been upgraded to satisfactory condition, according to a spokeswoman at Harborview Hospital. 2 other teens are in critical condition. The Snohomish County Medical Examiner's Office says Jalen Freiberg died of a gunshot wound to the head, and they've ruled his death a suicide.
Fox Radio's Jessica Rosenthal. Fox News, we report, you decide.
I'm Lex Friedman. I run my own business, so I know from experience, hiring new employees can be tough. Posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality candidates. If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites, and now you can. With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 50-plus job sites, including Craigslist, LinkedIn, and Twitter, all with a single click. Find candidates in any industry nationwide. Just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll in to ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. No juggling emails or calls to your office. Quickly screen candidates, rate them, and hire the right person fast. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 200,000 businesses. And right now, our listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/info. That's ZipRecruiter.com/info. One more time, to try it for free, go to ZipRecruiter.com/info.
Hey, it's Christy with Ocala Mac and PC Repair and Ocala Guest Wi-Fi to let you know we have you covered. We are the only local certified Apple and Microsoft computer company in Ocala. We are family owned and operated. From mobile repair to wireless networks, viruses, new systems, or security cameras, we do it all. Check us out online, OcalaMacPC.com, or give us a call, 352-566-8324.
Tell them Nick, Madison, or Mason sent you and get free diagnostic.
Get your internet telephone service from the company that brought affordable internet service to Ocala in the first place. All Is Safe is a sister company of Ocala Guest Wi-Fi, a company you've known and trusted for all your internet needs. Whether you need a phone or hundreds, we've got the products and services to meet your needs both now and in the future. Our plans include everything from local and long-distance calling to equipment maintenance and even software upgrades. You can count on All Is Safe to give you cost certainty knowing that your bill will be the same next week, next month, or even next year. Call 352-450-8647 today to learn how to cut your monthly telephone bill up to 60%.
Your home is safe, or is it? AA Lock, Dock, and Security. The name has been a staple in Ocala since 1985. Do you have the right equipment in place to have peace of mind when you are at home or away? AA Lock, Dock, and Security has the right people to install and monitor your home or business. Call today for a free on-site security analysis. Call 867-1965. AA Lock, Dock, and Security, 219 Northwest 10th Street, 867-1965.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Back to the Voice of Ocala. I attended an event on Friday night. Wasn't sure I'd be able to make it. Last minute I was able to get away. Glad I did because it was, in addition to being a fun night. A great group of people showed up. A lot of fun. Money was raised. Got a chance to meet a guy who was, I guess you'd kind of call him the modernized Jacques Cousteau in a way, but more than that because he certainly is an artist and he is commercially successful. And he's a friend of Tom Ingram's, who is, of course, the CEO of Gateway Bank, and he joins us on the program. Tom hosted the event on Friday night. Tom, I saw a big smile on your face.
Absolutely, it was a blast. It's always fun to have Guy Harvey and his team come to town. It's been 5 years since we've had them, and they've certainly been good friends of mine and good friends of Gateway Bank. And we were just proud to host them. And at the end of the night, we were able to give them a nice check for over $30,000, and I think they were all very pleased with that result. And
well, I guess so. I would be happy if you wrote me one for 35.
Absolutely. Well, 30, not 30 and some change.
There you go. Well, that's great, Tom. And just, for me, it was great to see some of the people there, too. I just made a note of people I saw that I hadn't seen in a while. I met a couple of people I had known of and had a chance to visit with Randy McCoy. And, of course, Randy and Sue Quenches were there. Fred and Carolyn Roberts, Kathy Bryant, commissioner, Jim Payton, who was auctioneer, former commissioner. I mean, I'm leaving people off, but I mean, Chief Graham and Daryl Kelly, who I'd not really had met before, our buddy Bruce Fischlow, Angie Lewis and Clint, and I think Holland Drake. I could go on, but a lot of good people there. Quite a turnout for the event. I guess you were quite pleased at the people who showed up too.
We were very pleased with the turnout, and it was small by design. We were limiting the crowd to 100 people. I think we ended up having 105 that signed up. So it was a perfect amount of people, so that it was somewhat intimate, with Guy, so you could have a chance to talk to him, get to know him, and also, and get some items signed. He was signing his name quite a bit on various items that people brought, and also some items that people purchased at the auction. So
when he signs his name, it's not just a quick signature. It's like the block print on the shirts, Guy Harvey, which he goes over with a pen. I mean, I watched him do that a few times on shirts and stuff, Original.
Amazing.
He spent a lot of time on that.
Its signature is a work of art.
Yeah, really. That's the truth. What are you, just for people who don't really know that much about Guy Harvey, and I've only known because you taught me, tell who he is. He's, first of all, born in Germany, number one.
He was born in Germany, grew up in Jamaica, and he's now a citizen of Grand Cayman, and that's where I originally met Guy. He has a passion for being underwater and on top of the water. He's a fisherman, he's a diver, he's an artist, he's a marine biologist. His big passion is funding scientific research and educational programs to encourage ocean conservation. And he does do that, and he puts a lot of money into those efforts and a lot of his own time. So he believes in that, and he lives it, day in and day out. I think a lot of people know him for, first and foremost, for his T-shirts, which display a lot of his artwork, and he's certainly known around these parts for that, and has been for quite some time.
If you haven't seen Guy Harvey's artwork, I mean, they're masterpieces. There's so much like the marine wildlife that in almost like photographs that come to life, but in art form. The colors, and even the body motion of the fish, it's spectacular artwork. I mean, he is a gifted artist, isn't
he? He really is, and he's able to take these visions, and a lot of what he paints is what he sees. So the images are so vivid, and he's right underwater with a lot of these fish that he paints. And I mean, every year he seems just to get better and better. And every time I'm in Grand Cayman, I'll stop by his studio, and he's always upstairs, usually painting when he's not shaking hands and signing autographs. But he is, that's what he loves to do.
Well, it shows in the effort he puts in, the passion he puts in it, and without question. And Tom, how did you meet him?
Basically just walked into his shop and introduced myself, said I'm Tom Ingram from Ocala, Florida. I'd love to have you come visit us at Gateway Bank. We have an art gallery, and you would be perfect for it. And long story short, over a period of 2 years, we worked on getting him here, and 5 years ago, the moon and stars aligned, and we had him come to Ocala on a Thursday night, I believe it was, and he also was able to attend his first football game at the Swamp, and the Gators won.
Better get him back there.
Yeah, what's that?
You better get him back in the Swamp. They need him.
I think he's a good luck charm.
Yeah.
So he got to see his first football game, loved it. He got to meet Bernie Matchin. We actually went in the president's box, and there was one of his paintings was actually hanging in the president's box when we walked in. So he was very well known to a lot of people there, and it was really an exciting weekend all the way around. That event we raised, I think, $25,000 for his Ocean Foundation, and he loved what he saw in Ocala, loved the people. In fact, he sent me an email about the event on Friday. I got an email this morning how much he enjoyed meeting the folks, the people of Ocala, and appreciated the response and the response that he received in the press as well. I think the banner covered him well, and he was very appreciative of that.
Nice story there on the paper over the weekend, and if you've probably seen the Guy Harvey's paintings, you just don't know it. When you see them, you're like, oh, wow, yeah, I remember those kind of paintings, because they're definitely colorful, and when you see them, it's kind of hard to miss his style because there's so much. And you, by the way, able to once again pull an event together at Gateway Bank, which you pride yourself on, which is having events at your bank for the community and causes that you've done, which you've done so graciously over the years, things like Save the Marion Theater, and FAFO and all these other groups are come and meet in your room. So you've managed to kind of merge all your passions in one thing, and the love for water and the love for the community and all that stuff, and you put it in the bank. So that's a pretty good way of doing things in my book.
Oh, absolutely, and it's always number one. It's always fun to get people together to celebrate these various causes and support the charities. And at the end of the day, we usually have a nice check for whoever we're supporting for that evening, which is very fulfilling. And I think in this case, it may be one of the largest checks that we've presented. Mm-hmm. And the other thing, we were celebrating was the introduction of our Guy Harvey checking account.
I forgot to mention that. Yes. Yeah. How's that work again?
It basically for every Guy Harvey legacy checking account we open, we donate $50 on the customer's behalf to the Ocean Foundation, and it comes with all kinds of neat bells and whistles. But we have a Guy Harvey debit card, Guy Harvey checks with his artwork. You get a free Guy Harvey T-shirt when you open the account, and you get all kinds of neat little bells and whistles that go with it. The free online banking, mobile banking, notary service, e-statements, free cashier's checks.
That was very smart. Now I want to ask you another question about being smart. How smart do you feel right now? Smart enough to take on Tom?
Smart.
Take on Tom in Fake or Factoid, or what? You think you have time to do that?
I think I do, but it's starting to kind of get to be old hat.
He's probably smart enough not to take Tom on, is what it is. It's kind of like when you play.
At some point, he's going to win, but it probably won't be today.
Yeah, it's kind of like Vanderbilt, playing Vanderbilt all the time. Once in a while, they get lucky. Oh, no, here we go. So you guys ready? All right, here comes the 24 music. This is a lot of Springfields today. Hope you're up on your Springfields. Number one, Springfield, Massachusetts is the home of the Basketball Hall of Fame. Fake or factoid? Fact.
Fact.
Both say fact, both correct. Number two, Wisconsin. Tom, you know about Wisconsin, Tom Schmitz.
I was just there.
Yeah, and you do too, and I do too. Wisconsin has 5 towns named Springfield. Tom Schmidt, you go first. Fake. Tom Schmidt says fake.
You wouldn't think in Wisconsin Springfield would be a popular name. I would have to say fake.
Both say fact. Either one of you want to change your answer? No, we both said fake. Oh, you said fake. I mean, either one of you want to change your answer? You should have. It's fact. All right, it's tied 1-1. Number 3, the Springfield rifle was the first automatic weapon. Fake or factoid? Fake.
Fake.
Both say fake.
You guys are going to end up tied, both correct. Both of you have one misses, so you're alive for the last two questions. Number 4, Buffalo Springfield had 5 number 1 hits. Fake or factoid?
Fake.
Tom Smith says fake.
That's definitely fake.
Both say fake. You're just kind of copycatting each other. Johnny Walker, they don't have any guts. They won't go out on an adventure. Okay, you're both correct. All right, coming down to the last one, last item before our number.
Me or Tom Ingram first?
Yeah. Let's let the guest go take his choice. You want to go first or last, Tom Ingram?
I think I'd go last.
Because you can take a chance. You can, if you go the same, you're tied to the deal. All right, here we go. Number 5, Rick Springfield. Rick Springfield was the lead singer of the Buffalo Springfield. Fake or factoid? Tom Schmitz?
Fake.
That's fake.
You making fun of my comments now? Is that what you're doing too? You started to disparage me on what I say?
Well, it kind of was a terrible question.
Okay, good. Well, if I say it was fact,
well, you would be lying.
Okay, you're both correct. It's fake. Now you all wait, copycat it to the end. Here's the final one. New Yorkers will bite more than sharks do worldwide. By how many times?
New Yorkers will
bite more times. Don't write your number. Write it down. New Yorkers bite more often than sharks do worldwide. By how many times?
New York people will bite.
New York people.
More.
How many times do I have to say it?
Will bite more than sharks.
You think I said New York sharks?
Okay.
New York people. New Yorkers bite how many times more than sharks do worldwide? Tom Schmitz, write your answer down. The guest can go last. Whoever's closest will win. All right, you ready, Tom Schmitz? Give us your answer. Tom Schmitz says 7 times more. Tom Ingram?
Okay. 8 times.
8 times. The winner is Tom Schmitz. It's 10.
Ah!
No, Tom James. I mean, Tom Ingram. Tom something. Yeah. Tom Springfield. Yeah, you won. You won, Tom. Good job.
Who won?
You did.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
10 times more was the answer. You one-upped him. He said 7.
That's all he did. He didn't write a number down. He just waited to hear my number and one-up me.
It didn't matter. How do you know?
Sound fair?
Strategy, man.
How do you know? I mean, what are you now, 6-0 against him, Tom?
How do I know? Because he just said, that's my strategy, man. That's what he just said.
Well, you're a sore loser. You know that? Sore loser. I believe you called us in too, Tom. I'll give you an extra bonus point for that too, all right?
All right. Well,
all right, Tom.
What do I win?
You win an evening with me.
Attaboy.
All right.
So I'm kind of the winner.
I'll buy lunch. How's that sound?
There you go. That's a deal.
All right, Tom. Thank you very much. Again, congratulations on a great event Friday night.
Yeah. Thank you, buddy.
All right. Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank. A lot of good stuff out there. All right. We'll take a break, come back, wrap it up while Tom sulks, and we'll go out with our
tweets and quotes.
Tweets and quotes coming up next right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Located next door to Silver Spring State Park and a few minutes from historic downtown Ocala, our award-winning Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites of Silver Springs is a place to stay for a friendly, memorable, and fun experience. Enjoy our fast and free Wi-Fi, complimentary hot breakfast, and free parking. Whether you're in town for work or play, our friendly staff will make you feel right at home. That's the Holiday Inn Express and Suites of Silver Springs, proud sponsor of Friday night Marion County High School football on WOCA, The Source.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm the football your buddy fired through your windshield. The cooler that tumbled out of a pickup and onto the hood of your car. If you're a football fan, eventually we're gonna meet. So get Allstate, where agents help keep you protected from mayhem. Like me.
Are you in good hands?
Hey, this is Kevin McDonald, your local Allstate agent. Call me at 622-2333 and let's make sure you're in good hands.
Imagine yourself in a quaint bistro right in the heart of a charming French village about to indulge in real French cuisine. Located in beautiful, vibrant downtown Ocala, La Cuisine offers authentic French cuisine and wine from an award-winning menu. Patrice and Elodie moved to Ocala in 2009 because they fell in love with it. And you're going to fall in love with La Cuisine if you haven't already. La Cuisine offers a quick bite for lunch or a leisurely dinner in a comfortable and relaxed setting. So call La Cuisine of Ocala today at 352-433-2570. It's like a direct call to Paris.
My name is Bo Briggs. I'm a sixth-generation Ocalan, and I practice law with my father at the Briggs Law Firm. Over the years, we've seen many changes to Ocala and many changes in our profession. What has not changed is our commitment to our clients. You will speak with and get to know your attorney. That will never change. A lawyer will personally handle your case, not a paralegal. So if you've been injured in an accident and would appreciate personal attention, you can reach us at 671-4600 or learn more at thebriggslawfirm.com.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Mainly clear skies in your forecast this evening and lows 61 to 68. Then for Tuesday, sunny to partly cloudy, highs 83 to 87. For Tuesday evening, partial cloud cover and lows between 63 and 68. Wednesday, a partly sunny day, highs 83 to 87. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Sarah Lauer.
This weather forecast brought to you by Tri-County Generators 1-800-622-1957. Don't get caught with your power down. Call Tri-County Generators now, 1-800-622-1957.
Dan, did you know that the runway at Ocala's airport is nearly 8,000 feet long?
Why, no, Brad. I did not. Please, tell me more about said runway.
Seriously, it's a big airport.
Yeah, I kind of knew that. So what's your point?
Well, just that most people don't even realize there's an airport, much less one that's big enough for Air Force One to land.
And
that Ocala Aviation is based at Ocala International Airport.
So why are you telling me?
So that you can help me get the word out that Ocala Aviation has a fleet of airplanes, and it's here for them to learn to fly.
And how do you propose we get said message across to so many people at once?
We should put an ad on a good radio station. But yours will do.
Very funny. Well, what do you want to say?
That we offer private, instrument, and even commercial training. All right here in Ocala. They don't even have to go anywhere else. They can do it all right here.
Nope, never work.
Well, then give them the number to call with any questions.
I can't even remember your number.
Yes, you do. 861-7484. How hard is that?
Okay, I'll call you next week and we'll get it started.
Can you remember the number this time?
Yes, 861-7484.
Good boy.
Hello? Can you hear me? Because if you can, then so can your customers. Radio works. Call today to advertise your business right here on WOCA 1370, The Source.
So I managed to make it through without doing my rant, Johnny. It's probably a good thing, wasn't it? Because I was really hot when I walked in here. Got through that first hour, didn't level those people who caused me a great deal of grief and further caused my wife to be in a great deal of pain today. So, but I'll pass on that, and we'll hopefully get through that and move on to tomorrow. Meanwhile, we got a little music here for you, tweets and quotes. We'll round out this hour. Coming up next hour, Coach Tim Ryan from CF Patriots basketball team, Franz Beard, VikingInter.com, and we'll have Joe Williams from Mile High Sports coming your way. So let's see if we can find our tweets and quotes today. Winston Churchill said, we make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. That's one for you, Johnny. You should remember that. This is kind of a true quote from Julia Roberts. She said, I've risked my career by not having a facelift. Good for you, Julia. I like that. Looked pretty good, if you ask me. This is from Edward D. Bono. It is better to have enough ideas for some of them to be wrong than to be always right by having no ideas at all. Like that one. May have to read that one again. Better to have enough ideas for some of them to be wrong than to be right always by having no ideas at all. I know people like that. All right, we'll wrap it up. Coming up next, Coach Tim Ryan, CF Patriots, joins the program on Buddy Sports page. We'll talk about college football. Crazy weekend. Plus, we'll be talking with Joe Williams, I'm sure, about his thoughts on the football situation. And I'm sure at some point with Franz Beard, we're going to have some comment about the guy named Will Muschamp. So we'll have that, too, coming your way. So stay tuned to Buddy Sports page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Do you feel arthritis pain with every step you take? Do you struggle with pain and stiffness in your knees or hips? If so, you may qualify for a research study of acute pain associated with osteoarthritis. WinStar Medical Research is conducting a research study for individuals over the age of 18 who have osteoarthritis in the knees or hips and are not satisfied with the pain relief current treatment. Qualified participants will receive study-related medical care and investigation medication at no cost. Compensation for time and travel will be provided. To learn more about this osteoarthritis study, please call WinStar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. That's WinStar Medical Research, 352-629-5800. Nestled in the heart of horse country, just off I-75 exit 354, the award-winning and newly refreshed Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala invites you to pamper yourself in one of our comfy guest rooms. Enjoy our free and fast Wi-Fi, heated outdoor swimming pool, 24-hour fitness center, and our deluxe continental breakfast. Other on-site amenities include a restaurant, putt-putt golf, and a car wash. Go happy, go Hojo at the Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala, proud sponsor of Friday Night High School football on WOCA, The Source.
Hi, this is Randy Briggs of the Briggs Law Firm. My son Bo and I practice exclusively in the representation of accident victims. And we've been asked many times why we would support and sponsor the program Ask the Cops with Sheriff Blair and Chief Graham, who are in the world of criminal law enforcement. Well, these legal rights actually overlap. In civil law enforcement, we're in the business of recovering for victims of accidents that which has been taken away from them and holding the responsible party accountable. Both civil law and criminal law share those common goals. So we're all in the field of law enforcement, and for that reason, we're proud to sponsor Ask the Cops on the Voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin. So if your family or a friend needs help in an accident situation, feel free to contact us at our website, www.The Briggs Law Firm. We're located in the Ocala Historic District.
Who would you feed if you had 50 chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A? WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall have teamed up to reward one organization with 50 chicken sandwiches as a way of saying thanks for the great work that organization is doing in our community. And we need your help. See, there are so many great people doing great things that we need nominations. You can nominate your own organization or any organization you choose. Simply send an email to WOCA@WOCA.com. And in 350 words or less, tell us why the organization you are nominating should receive 50 free chicken sandwiches from WOCA and Chick-fil-A at the Paddock Mall. We'll review your nominations and then select one deserving organization each month. We'll announce the winner and even read the winning entry on the air. Make sure to include the contact name and phone number of the organization that you are nominating. And thanks from your friends at WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Now is the time to take advantage of Florida Credit Union's CD specials. Our 36-month CD comes in at 1.26% APY. A 24-month is working for you at 1.0% APY. And our 12-month at 0.75% APY. All CD rate specials require a $10,000 minimum. With friendly service and rates like these, it's not hard to see why Florida Credit Union has your CD options covered. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Call 352-237-8222 for more information. Must act by 1/15/14.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Carol McHugh. The director of the CDC says under new guidelines, expect a jump in the number of potential Ebola cases.
Through all of this, we expect there to be an increasing number of individuals for whom there is a concern that they might have Ebola.
Dr. Thomas Frieden, who went on to say,
that doesn't mean there are more cases. Until a laboratory test confirms a case, it's not confirmed.
With Illinois now the latest state to implement its own Ebola protocols, there are concerns that some of those quarantined will lawyer up.
Nurse Casey Hickox, having just returned from West Africa, was immediately quarantined in New Jersey under Governor Chris Christie's new regulation. But she's now hired a prominent civil rights attorney who says the quarantine is a violation of her constitutional rights. The Obama administration has resisted calls for a mandatory 21-day quarantine.
Fox's Doug McElway. Stocks end the day mixed. The Dow edged up 12 to finish at 16,817. Fox News. We report. You decide.
I'm Lex Friedman. I run my own business, so I know from experience, hiring new employees can be tough. Posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality candidates. If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites, and now you can. With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 50-plus job sites, including Craigslist, LinkedIn, and Twitter, all with a single click. Find candidates in any industry nationwide. Just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll in to ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. No juggling emails or calls to your office. Quickly screen candidates, rate them, and hire the right person fast. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 200,000 businesses. And right now, our listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/info. That's ZipRecruiter.com/info. One more time. To try it for free, go to ZipRecruiter.com/info.
How much time? 30 seconds. I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Okay. Enough kidding around.
Ho, 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 ho.
And now it's time for the Buddy Martin Sports Page.
He actually had me stay here last night in his gym.
It's like I don't fit in. It's like I don't belong here.
Let's go talk to a couple of guys that never gamble.
Oh, see, I made Lewis a bet here. See, Lewis bet me that we couldn't both get rich and put you on the poorhouse at the same time. He didn't think we could do it.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
And now, here's Buddy.
Hello, welcome to a Monday edition of Buddy Sports Page. A lot of things to take care of today, not the least of which we're going to be calling in just a moment Tim Ryan from CF Basketball. He played on Friday night, and we need to get him on the phone. So we'll be talking to Coach Tim Ryan. And then with 20 after Franz Beard, we'll talk with him and then catch up with Joe Williams. I'm a little bit curious about Tuesday night and what's going to happen when the committee puts their first 25 teams out there. And quite frankly, all the prejudice that we talked about toward the SEC once I've thought this thing through and read over the list of names again and saw which ones of the 12 now, since Archie Manning is pulled out, are assigned to what particular conference, I'm not saying it's prejudiced against the SEC. I'm just not so sure there's enough weight there when you talk about the best conference by far. I mean, you can take the AFC West alone and say throw everybody else out, except for Georgia, by the way. I think it's got a good chance to make some noise, and we'll have the athletic director from the University of Georgia on tomorrow. Greg McGarity talking about the big weekend in Jacksonville between the Gators and Bulldogs, although it won't be that big for the Gators, I'm afraid, but it still is a classic game. So anyway, we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Right now we've got Coach Tim Ryan, coach of the national champion CF Patriots 2 years ago, back at it again this year, hopeful with a brand new bunch. And one good thing about it, when you coach at a junior college level, you get a brand new team in 2 years, right, Coach Ryan?
That's correct, buddy. We got 12 new guys this year. We have one player back from last year, actually a local player, Austin Bowman, out of Forest High School, and he's the only player we brought back. Yeah, so one returning player, and you just don't know what you got. So you play Saturday night. First of all, tell us about the team you're playing Saturday night. We play Saturday night. We play East Georgia. East Georgia is a quality team that went the year that we went to nationals. When we won it, they were also at nationals, and they went pretty far in the tournament. We didn't play them, but they won their region, and so they're going to be a tough team. They'll have a couple mid-major players. Very athletic, man-to-man team, like to get up and down. Tell us about a couple of players on your squad. I'm sure you're still learning who they are too, but that you like a lot or you see potential. And I know it's difficult without having a chance to coach them very long, but just based on what you see, you say you have depth, but you do things a little different. You don't have some of the skills you had last year, but you have other weapons that you didn't have last year. What do you mean by that? Well, last year's team, we had some very talented players, but they all really did the same thing. They were slashers, weren't great shooters. So by the end of the year, we were becoming a little bit easy to guard. But this year, we've got guys that can do different things. We're a much better shooting team than we were last year. Much better. Got some guys that can really shoot it, and got some guys that are slashers also. We have a better inside game, I think, this year than we did last year. So we're better all around on the offensive side. Now, the big thing is, can these guys come together on the defensive side? We've been very, it's been our trademark the last number of years is we've been very good on the defensive side. The year that we won it, we were number one in the country in defensive field goal percentage. We've been in the top one or two in the state for probably the last 5 or 6 years, which is, I think, really what's made us so good. And can these guys come together? And I just love the character of this team. They're just a great group of kids. And now we just got to see whether we can put it together. But, again, like most years, we have a lot of Division I kids. There's probably 8 or 9 Division I kids on this team, at least right now, and not maybe more that will develop into a Division I player. Talking to Coach Tim Ryan at CF Patriots. Coach Tom Schmitz here. You had the state championship for the first time ever on your home court last year. How big a success was that for CF? It was a huge success. I think everybody in across the state was very happy. They come to Ocala. Some of these teams may not be familiar with Ocala, what we have to offer. They come in and they see everything that we have, all the restaurants, the hotels, things to do here. So I think it was a great success, not just for CF, but for the community, for all the people to see what we have here to offer. Tim, before I let you go, this is what? How many years is this for you here now? Is it 12, 13? This is my 12th season coming up. Yeah, I thought I was saying get up there pretty. My goodness, it just goes by fast. Well, we're glad you're still here, and I know you set out for that dream to take place. That is to win a state championship. In those days, who knew you'd be winning a national championship? But you want to win a state championship on your own home court. That dream's still alive, right? Absolutely. That's the plan, and I think we have, just like every year, I think we have a team that's right in there. I think we have a team that will compete. It's just a matter of time to see, if we can step up and get that done. the quality of play in Florida at the junior college level is the best in the country. You don't find more talent than you do in the state of Florida in the junior college level. And it's a great game to watch. It's a great game to see. Last year at the state tournament, we lost at the state tournament last year to Chipola. Anyone that came out to that game, it was, first of all, packed house, standing room only. They had to turn a couple people away at the end because it was so crowded. And then you had guys like Sam Cassell Jr., who this year will be playing for Connecticut. You had the other boy, the big boy, his name will lose me right now, that played for Chipola, that will be going to Auburn. He was committed to Florida State and then decommitted. So you have a lot of talent. There are 5 kids on that team, on my team, last year that are now playing at Division I school. We have 10 kids this year playing at Division I. We have 13 playing at the next level, and we have 8 kids that are playing overseas. So the talent level is really good.
It is, and of course Bruce Pearl grabbing up that tall guy from Chipola, no doubt about it. He's going to be interesting to watch at Auburn. Interesting, going to be watch the Patriots this year. Looking forward to it. Tipping it off on Saturday night. You'll be carrying the games here live on WOCA. All the best to you, Coach, and we'll see you soon.
Buddy, thank you very much. I appreciate it. You take care.
All right, thanks. Tim Ryan, Coach at CF. Take advantage of it as long as we got him. Because, that guy may not be here one of these days, and he's awful good coach and brings a lot of talent. Let's do headlines now. You want to do headlines and come back, or what do you want to do?
We can do headlines now. If you want to, we can come back. We need to take a break.
Let's take a break, come back. Tom will give you headlines. Franz Beer coming up at 20 after. We'll talk about the selection committee, which announces their first round tomorrow night. Got some issues with that. Joe Williams will be along at 5:40 as well. Stay tuned to Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Do you feel arthritis pain with every step you take? Do you struggle with pain and stiffness in your knees or hips? If so, you may qualify for a research study of acute pain associated with osteoarthritis. Rinstar Medical Research is conducting a research study for individuals over the age of 18 who have osteoarthritis in the knees or hips and are not satisfied with the pain relief current treatment. Qualified participants will receive study-related medical care and investigation medication at no cost. Compensation for time and travel will be provided. To learn more about this osteoarthritis study, please call Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. That's Rinstar Medical Research, 352-629-5800.
If you've been hearing about the crowded Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill and were worried because you couldn't get in, I've got some good news for you. Seating is now available. While you're there, look up Chef Dave Del Rio. He'll buy you a drink. Now is the time for you to finally see firsthand what your friends are talking about at Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill. Try Chef Dave's tantalizing Louisiana menu. Check out those gorgeous Lake Weir sunsets. Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill on beautiful Lake Weir. Seating now available. Nestled in the heart of horse country, just off I-75 exit 354, the award-winning and newly refreshed Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala invites you to pamper yourself in one of our comfy guest rooms. Enjoy our free and fast Wi-Fi, heated outdoor swimming pool, 24-hour fitness center, and our deluxe continental breakfast. Other on-site amenities include a restaurant, putt-putt golf, and a car wash. Go happy, go Hojo at the Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala, proud sponsor of Friday Night High School Football on WOCA, The Source. Right on the southwestern corner of the square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Mainly clear skies in your forecast this evening and lows 61 to 68. Then for Tuesday, sunny to partly cloudy, highs 83 to 87. For Tuesday evening, partial cloud cover and lows between 63 and 68. Wednesday, a partly sunny day, highs 83 to 87. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Sarah Lauer.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Our tractor services include bush hog, disking, front end loader, box blade, and stump grinding. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are licensed and insured. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440, or online at powellgene, Gene, at yahoo.com. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing.
This is the Salvation Army, and I'm Major George Patterson to let you know that the Salvation Army is available 24 hours a day to provide help to anyone. We also have a family store at 120 Northwest 10th Street in Ocala. On Tuesday to Saturday from 9 to 4, you can do your shopping, or if you want to donate, you can call 352-732-4469, and we'll even pick up 352-732-4469. All funds generated by our store go into the programs here in Marion County to help the needy.
Hi, my name is Dr. Erica Olstein with A Better You Healthcare Acupuncture and Eastern Medicine. As primary care physicians, we use acupuncture to treat back pain, arthritis, migraines, allergies, high blood pressure, thyroid disorders, hormone imbalances, stress, and more using all natural medical therapies. We treat the source of your problems, not just your symptoms. For more information, go to abetteryouhealthcare.com or call today to set up your appointment. 352-615-5566.
All right, coming up just a minute, France Beard joins us on the program right now. Tom has got headlines from the world of sports today, and as I said, big weekend for college football. Mississippi getting knocked off, that changes the landscape a lot. Tight game between Auburn and South Carolina. South Carolina played brilliantly. One of the best games Steve Spurrier ever called, by the way. Just couldn't get the last touchdown in, and now a controversy over the last play because it appears as though two players with the same number played on the Auburn side of the ball on fourth down, and by rule, that would be a replay. But, of course, it's over now and it can't be changed. So, excellent football game. And some other upsets along the way, too. It's been, LSU was probably was the biggest one, obviously.
Bad Bo showed up.
Didn't see that happening. I just didn't think that. Of course, that's why you can never forget about rivalries. They're always there. They're in the blood. They're in the DNA. They're in the grass. They're just in the place. And so when you start dismissing it, and sometimes we forget about that, it is what it is. This is in the DNA. There's a big rivalry between these two schools, and it's been for a long time. And it reared up and the Tigers bit their heads off on Saturday night. What you got for headlines, Tom?
Buddy, the Tallahassee Police Department is investigating alleged domestic assault involving Florida State running back Carlos Williams, the agency said in a news release Monday. Williams, a senior from Davenport, Florida, is being investigated for allegedly assaulting his girlfriend. The athletic department is aware of the investigation by the Tallahassee Police Department involving football student-athlete Carlos Williams, the school said in a statement. Until we receive more information regarding the alleged incident, his status with this team will be under review. Williams was in pad and practicing Monday.
Not a good thing for Florida State right now.
Nick Saban may earn in the area $7 million per year, but that doesn't stop the Alabama faithful from helping out their championship coach whenever and however they can. And this is why players should get paid, because coaches can have this done. According to a report from Alabama.com, the Crimson Tide Foundation has paid off Saban's $3.1 million home, even though the organization was under no obligation to do so. Mm-hmm. The 8,700 square foot home was bought in 2007, and the foundation picked up the tag for the property taxes each year and now have paid the house off. Mm-hmm. So, I guess
when you're rich, you
I guess if you I know you remember earlier Mookie Blaylock was in an automobile accident that killed a lady earlier this year in Atlanta, in May of 2013 in Atlanta. Well, he pled guilty on Monday and received a reduced prison sentence for his role in the car crash. He was sentenced to 15 years for vehicular homicide and other charges in the death of Monica Murphy on a head-on collision. According to the plea deal, Mookie Blaylock will have the term reduced to 7 years, suspended after 3, with 8 years on probation, buddy. So Mookie Blaylock going to prison for his vehicular homicide. And finally, ex-offensive lineman Mo Collins passed away over the weekend.
Sad.
Did he play for the University of Florida?
Certainly did.
That's what I thought. Played for Steve
First-round
Spurrier.
draft choice.
Right, played for Steve Spurrier. Yeah. He was the West Charlotte High School football coach.
38 years old.
Died of 38 years old. Athletic director Christopher Satterfield confirmed Collins had passed away, but the cause of death has not been released. So
I didn't like the way the story said. It alluded. It didn't deal with it, but apparently kidney failure.
Right. It was kidney failure.
That was one of the things. The system shut down, and I'm not going to say more than that. But when those things happen, it makes you quite concerned about what went on there. Hopefully, nothing untoward. He did a lot of great things in the community.
Right.
Coached high school, brought him back. Terrific player, and had a good pro career. And so let's just leave it at that. Anything else?
That's all I got.
All right. So I got this committee in front of me here. And it's time now. We talk about this forever. Every week on the Southern Pigskin Tonight, which will be, by the way, be held played on Thursday and Friday at 5 o'clock. We go over our top 4 teams. And I know it's kind of a senseless exercise because really what we're talking about now, we know it's not going to be then. Like we knew it couldn't be both Mississippi and Mississippi State because they were good playing each other. We know it can't be Auburn and Alabama, or at least it shouldn't be, because they played the last game of the season in the Egg Bowl. So, but yet you put it out there because what you're projecting is as of today, because that's all you know. 9 weeks have gone by, and we know this: the best football's being played in the Southeastern Conference. Surprise, surprise. And of course, FSU is still hanging in there. Depends on where you get them. Most of the people got them at number 2. Not a whole lot happened there regarding Mississippi State. Didn't look glorious in winning, but never did trail and did okay against Kentucky. Alabama started to run off with the game and then didn't. Tennessee got back in the game there briefly. Certainly Auburn barely got by. South Carolina had completed that last pass. That might have been, games might still been going on. And in the end, you got FSU, which is, we'll see, they're going to be hanging in there. So 9 weeks in, and I've got my 4. Tom's got his 4, and probably Franz Beard has his 4 as we speak right now. And I imagine it's going to look somewhat like mine, but we'll see. Let's go out now to the hotline and Franz Beard from FightGators.com. Hello, Franz. How are you?
Well, survived another weekend of college football, and it's getting interesting, buddy.
Yeah, I was exciting game watching. I really thought Auburn was going to win by 4 touchdowns over Spurrier because we knew he had no defense. But you know what? He called one of the best games of his career. He called a brilliant football game.
Well, one thing about him is his offensive mind is still 2 steps ahead of the game. He's got to have a new defensive coordinator. He's got more talent top to bottom than he's ever had. The coordination of the defense has been terrible, and they've got to have a new guy. They're one of these teams though. If you look at all the people they've got coming back, they should be formidable next year. Just like, for example, LSU. LSU's going to be a beast next year.
Quarterback remains a question mark for next year, though, for sure. He doesn't have that veteran coming back, but he'll find one. When Archie Manning took this leave of absence, I didn't think a whole lot about it because I figured, well, even if Archie was there, he'd probably recuse himself on the Ole Miss stuff anyway. And I thought it's going to be pretty good balance on that thing. And people, these people on the committee are intelligent gentlemen, and they're going to and ladies, I should say, and they're going to make good decisions. They're unbiased. But now that I've looked over this committee, now I read the names over again today for the 100th time. Now they're down to 12. I don't see an SEC bias. What I see is really no connection to the SEC. Now, even a
blind baboon could find to pick a winner out of the SEC right now. But where it's going to come into play, France, and I'll get your take on this, when you look at these 12 names, and I'll call them off in just a minute, is if we get down to the second SEC team, whether or not a one-loss or a two-loss Alabama, whatever it may be, will be that fourth team that will be better than, say, Michigan State or whoever the team is. And so that's the issue here. Number one shouldn't be a problem. The winner of the SEC is going to be in, period. But, Alabama, is still out there, and Alabama's playing pretty good football. So when you read these names over, do you have that concern at all about the fact that there's kind of no connection to the SEC?
That doesn't bother me simply because just what you said, whoever wins the SEC is going to be there. The thing that I'm looking at is this. I believe the pressure is going to be very, very hard on these people. I don't think they'll talk about it, but there will be pressure put on by the networks to have more of a balanced situation, because you're going to end up with two deep South teams. FSU's, barring something unbelievable like FSU losing a game, and I can't see that against that pansy schedule. But you're going to have FSU, and let's face it, I believe it's either going to be Auburn or Mississippi State. Auburn's in the best situation because Mississippi. If Alabama beats Mississippi State, then Alabama certainly would be there. But if Mississippi State beats Alabama, that's two losses. Auburn's already played Mississippi State, so they can beat Ole Miss and they can beat Alabama and be the other one-loss team. But I cannot foresee three deep South teams being in there and only one other team. I think you're going to end up with Mississippi State, Auburn, or Alabama from the SEC. I think you're going to end up with FSU. Those you can just about count on that. And then you're going to balance the country. Oregon, I think, if they can go one loss with only one loss, they are just about in. And then they're going to have to make a decision about one loss, either Ohio State or Michigan State
right.
from the Big Ten. And if Notre Dame goes the rest of the way with one loss, Notre Dame will trump the Big Ten.
Yeah, it's going to be a kind of the number 4 position is going to be, right now I got Mississippi State, FSU, Alabama, and Auburn in my top 4. That obviously won't be how it finishes because Alabama and Auburn play each other. But as you say, Notre Dame comes into the picture. I think the Big 12 gets left out. Oregon looks like the class of the outfit, and we'll see who emerges as the second SEC. FSU is in unless they get beat. Well, because there's going to be an SEC bias, whether people like it or not, they're going to try to keep 2 SEC schools out. I think the only way you can really go is Mississippi State if they win out, or Auburn if they win out. Then FSU, Oregon, and Notre Dame, I think is probably how the committee's going to go.
Well, I think that Auburn is your real wild card team out of this, because I believe if Mississippi State beats Alabama, that's 2 losses there. If Mississippi State beats Ole Miss, that's 2 losses there. Auburn can beat Ole Miss, that's 2 losses there. So, the thing about it is it can come down to this. If Mississippi State runs the table and then goes into the Egg Bowl and Ole Miss only has 1 loss, then the winner of that team, that's going to be the elimination game. But I think Auburn could end up being, if there's a spoiler out there, to me, in my opinion, it's Auburn. But it's going to be one of those teams. It's going to be Alabama, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, or Auburn. One of those 4 teams is going to be in the semifinal.
Auburn showing no signs of stopping anybody on the ground, I guess, as well as the passing game, which spur your attack. Let me just give you this, you guys. Here's the thing: they have these point people for each conference. They're all picked out. This 12-man group, 12-woman group. The 2 people on the Southeastern point people are Oliver Luck, athletic director of West Virginia, and Steve Weberg, former USA Today writer. How you feel about that?
Well, I don't like the fact that the chairman of it is Jeff Long from Arkansas, and Jeff Long, I don't, even though he represents the SEC, I don't see Jeff Long as an SEC guy.
All right, Franz, we're out of time, buddy. Thank you. We'll talk to you later in the week. All right, Franz Beard, we'll take a break, come back on the other side. Joe Williams next on the Buddy Sports page. 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm the football your buddy fired through your windshield. The cooler that tumbled out of a pickup and onto the hood of your car. If you're a football fan, eventually we're gonna meet. So get Allstate, where agents help keep you protected from mayhem. Like me.
Are you in good hands?
Hey, this is Kevin McDonald, your local Allstate agent. Call me at 622-2333, and let's make sure you're in good hands.
Let's give it up for old asphalt and a new pair of shoes. Let's give it up for a good rhythm meeting a sweet melody. For a church cookout under clear skies. Let's give it up for good things coming together, like bundling your auto and other policies together with an Allstate agent, which can save you time and keep you better protected. Let's give it up for good.
To receive your comparative insurance quote, contact the McDonald Agency at 622-2333.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz.
Hi, I'm State Farm agent Angie Lewis. Come see me and my team for all your insurance and financial needs in the beautiful downtown historic district, 416 East Fort King Street, or call 291-2444.
Fox News Radio, I'm Carol McHugh. The director of the CDC says under new guidelines, expect a jump in the number of potential Ebola cases.
Through all of this, we expect there to be an increasing number of individuals for whom there is a concern that they might have Ebola.
Dr. Thomas Frieden, who went on to say,
that doesn't mean there are more cases. Until a laboratory test confirms a case, it's not confirmed.
With Illinois now the latest state to implement its own Ebola protocols, there are concerns that some of those quarantined will lawyer up.
Nurse Casey Hickox, having just returned from West Africa, was immediately quarantined in New Jersey under Governor Chris Christie's new regulation. But she's now hired a prominent civil rights attorney who says the quarantine is a violation of her constitutional rights. The Obama administration has resisted calls for a mandatory 21-day quarantine.
Fox's Doug McElway. Stocks end the day mixed. The Dow edged up 12 to finish at 16,817. Fox News. We report. You decide.
I'm Lex Friedman. I run my own business, so I know from experience, hiring new employees can be tough. Posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality candidates. If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites, and now you can. With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 50-plus job sites, including Craigslist, LinkedIn, and Twitter, all with a single click. Find candidates in any industry nationwide. Just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll into ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. No juggling emails or calls to your office. Quickly screen candidates, rate them, and hire the right person fast. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 200,000 businesses. And right now, our listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/info. That's ZipRecruiter.com/info. One more time, to try it for free, go to ZipRecruiter.com/info.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Mainly clear skies in your forecast this evening and lows 61 to 68. Then for Tuesday, sunny to partly cloudy, highs 83 to 87. For Tuesday evening, partial cloud cover and lows between 63 and 68. Wednesday, a partly sunny day, highs 83 to 87. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Sarah Lauer.
Let's face it, nowadays it can be hard to find American-made products, and that's something that Cabinet Sales of North Florida is well aware of. That's why they're an authorized dealer of Wellborn Cabinetry, family-owned and American-made since 1961. Cabinet Sales of North Florida is your answer for complete turnkey kitchen remodels and whole house cabinetry. Their cabinets are finished with solvent-based enamels for a long-lasting finish that's second to none. Available in an incredible selection of door styles and colors to choose from to turn your dream kitchen into a reality. In-house design design, and drawing services are available. Come by and see our displays for yourself at the Floors of the Villages, 3935 County Road 216 in Oxford, or Exquisite Design Kitchen and Bath in Bellevue, right across the street from the Bellevue Library. So whether you're looking for bookcases, kitchen, bath, or outdoor kitchen, Cabinet Sales of North Florida is your one-stop source of quality cabinets. For a free estimate, call 352-427-2647. That's 352-427-2647. Cabinet Sales of North Florida.
Hi, Danny Warfel here. Get moving with Florida Credit Union's fast and easy loan approval process.
Let Florida Credit Union start up a new car loan for you today. No more waiting, hassles, or stop signs. You can even apply online. With a strong financial team behind you, you can enjoy great rates and fast approvals.
It's all about personalized service and a streamlined process.
Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life.
All right, back on Buddy Sports Page. I watched some NFL football this weekend. Like you said earlier, Tom, I forgot about that London game being on. I didn't. I set my clock and everything. Falcons will play. But if I don't know what's happening, and I follow the NFL, we have Terry Bradshaw every week on his show. By the way, Terry's got this new feature. It's dynamite. He will now, get this, he is now today, as of today when I talked to him, says he's going to start doing special shout-outs to individuals in the markets where we have the program, which would be here in Marion County, over in Citrus, up in Georgia and Waycross and Hilton Head, South Carolina, Brunswick, St. Simons. And so he's we have an email address for him now. It's called heyterrybradshaw@gmail.com. If you have, like, let's just say somebody in your community has done something spectacular, or is a big fundraiser for somebody who's in need, or somebody's got like a 100th birthday, or somebody special, he will personalize a shout out for that person on the air. But not somebody that could afford to pay for a shout out. No, and there's anything commercial is not going to work it. But let's just think, so every now and then we have something special. Somebody does something really cool for somebody else here, raise them money or do something. I'm not having a fundraiser, but for an individual who's had a disaster in their family or something. Well, like little Hayden, they have the little 3-year-old that has brain cancer that causes him to go blind. Exactly, and so they're having a barbecue for him.
Yeah.
If they're going to, Terry would say, hey, check out a little barbecue for little Hayden.
And he'd say, shout out to little Hayden and talk about him. And this is his idea, by the way. He wants to do this. So people in these markets now, if they just write me an email.
Where are they going to send it?
Hey, Terry Bradshaw at gmail.com. I'll get the email.
You were able to get Hey Terry Bradshaw as an email address?
Yeah, Gmail address.
Who did you know?
I know Mr. G.
Okay.
Mr. G, yeah. So that's what you do. And so,
Hey Terry Bradshaw. H-E-Y, Terry Bradshaw.
At gmail.com. And he's going to, he won't be able to do everybody's, but if it's good enough and long enough, we'll make a whole segment out of it.
Is Terry reading these emails or are you picking these emails?
He'll pick them out.
Oh, okay, good. Hey, Terry Bradshaw, this is Tom Schmitz. I need to give me a shout out.
Yeah.
I need some sort of fundraiser because Buddy Martin doesn't pay me very well.
I'm sure he'll be willing to do that.
That sounds good.
Yeah, he can do that. Yeah, it's certainly charitable. That's for sure.
Well, what you do for me is charitable.
Yeah, that's true. There you go.
The little bit I do,
it's extra charitable. Yeah, so anyway, I think that's kind of cool. So anyway,
Hey Terry Bradshaw at gmail.com.
And that's what it was his idea and his request, because we had last week we had our mailbag for him, and people really loved it.
HEYTERRYBRADSHAW at gmail.com.
You got it, my friend.
That's pretty good.
It is good. It's a good deal. It's a good job by Terry.
In. HeyTerryBradshaw.com. HeyTerryBradshaw at gmail.com.
There you go. And it has to be something special, like my birthday or something like that.
Oh, there you go.
All right. Anyway, talking NFL football, I didn't even think about the London game. And, of course, Miss Stoney's been kind of
offer a game a little bit at home today and hope you feel better, honey. And so we didn't make church on Sunday morning. We turned on the TV, and there's this football game. I thought, what did I miss? I'm thinking, are they replaying? It was a day game in London. I know, but I forgot, and I follow the game. So how about the people out there who follow the game who didn't know it was on even? You know, like, let's say the guys that do fantasy football. I know you're not a fantasy guy. No, I'm not. But I do fantasy football. There were two big names in this game that were questionable.
Yeah.
Calvin Johnson, Megatron, and Reggie Bush.
Yeah.
They were questionable. They may or may not play. Well, if you live out on the West Coast, the game starts at 6:30 on the West Coast. You got 30 minutes before game time, you can't adjust your roster anymore. So somebody would have to get up because it was a game time decision. Yeah. You got to get up at 5:50 and hope somebody's out there on the airwaves telling you whether they're starting or not. And by the way, neither one of them played. So if you didn't get up on the West Coast and you had them in your game yesterday, you got killed because two of your players weren't in your fantasy league.
There you go. That's a good point. Very good point. So anyway, there were some crazy games. I turned the game off last night. I just watched about a half. I thought, well, Green Bay's got it in hand. My goodness.
Good night.
Came back and put a whooping on them.
I mean, just Drew Brees caught on fire in the second half and just whooped them.
And they're tough in that dome, but that surprised me. I'm sure our friends Randy Quenches and, of course, Ron Zook coaches that team. I'm sure they were kind of upset with their Packers last night. But
how about the blowouts this weekend? 43 points by the Jets and a blowout win by 20 points.
I watched that game, and I actually texted Terry and said, I don't know what's wrong with me. Why do I pull
for the Bills?
No. What do I pull for Rex Ryan, Percy Harvin, and that bunch? What is it about them that I pull for? I don't know. I get and by the way, the quarterback lefty, come and help me out. My brain.
Geno Smith.
No.
Michael Vick.
Michael Vick. Yeah, Geno Smith went out. Threw 3 picks in the first quarter. By the way. So I got Michael Vick, I got Percy Harvin, and I got Rex Ryan.
And you're cheering for that.
I feel sorry for him.
You're cheering for a dog murderer, a guy who fights his own teammates, and a whack job of a coach.
I said, why do I feel sorry for them? I don't know why. Maybe it's a flaw in my personality. I don't know.
Before we go to break, the thing I thought of yesterday the most, the blowouts. The Jets beat the Bills by 20, okay? The Patriots beat the Bears 51-23.
A terrible team.
The Steelers beat the Colts 51-34. And the Saints beat the Packers 44-23.
Roethlisberger threw for 7?
Yeah.
7 touchdowns.
How many times do you see 44 points, 51 points, 51 points, 44 points in an NFL game?
Last weekend in the SEC, not this weekend, it was that way. SEC 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it's clobbering. There's so much parity, right?
Yeah, so much for that.
All right, let's talk about this committee meeting Tuesday night. College football is about to take a turn in the road here. It's going to be different this year. Not sure how we're going to like it, but we'll talk with Joe Williams next from Mile High Sports after this time out on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Located next door to Silver Spring State Park and a few minutes from historic downtown Ocala, our award-winning Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites of Silver Springs is a place to stay for a friendly, memorable, and fun experience. Enjoy our fast and free Wi-Fi, complimentary hot breakfast, and free parking. Whether you're in town for work or play, our friendly staff will make you feel right at home. That's the Holiday Inn Express and Suites of Silver Springs, proud sponsor of Friday night Marion County High School football on WOCA, The Source. If you've been hearing about the crowd at Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill and were worried because you couldn't get in, I've got some good news for you. Seating is now available. While you're there, look up Chef Dave Del Rio. He'll buy you a drink. Now is the time for you to finally see firsthand what your friends are talking about. At Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill, try Chef Dave's tantalizing Louisiana menu. Check out those gorgeous Lake Weir sunsets. Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill on beautiful Lake Weir. Seating now available. Hi, I'm Buddy Martin, the host of the Voice of Ocala, every weekday from 3 to 6 right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. A lot of people ask me, how do you keep a muzzle on Tom Schmitz? Forget about it.
The Marion County Seminole Club, Inc., a proud sponsor of FSU football here on The Source. For more information, contact the Marion County Seminole Club at marionseminoles.org or email them at marionseminoleclub@gmail.com.
Nestled in the heart of horse country, just off I-75 exit 354, the award-winning and newly refreshed Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala invites you to pamper yourself in one of our comfy guest rooms. Enjoy our free and fast Wi-Fi, heated outdoor swimming pool, 24-hour fitness center, and our deluxe continental breakfast. Other on-site amenities include a restaurant, putt-putt golf, and a car wash. Go happy, go Hojo at the Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala, proud sponsor of Friday Night High School football on WOCA, The Source.
Locally owned and operated since 1957. We are The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Mainly clear skies in your forecast this evening and lows 61 to 68. Then for Tuesday, sunny to partly cloudy, highs 83 to 87. For Tuesday evening, partial cloud cover and lows between 63 and 68. Wednesday, a partly sunny day, highs 83 to 87. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Sarah Lauer.
This weather brought to you by A&A Lockdock. Did you know that most break-ins happen during bad weather because it masks the sound? Don't be another victim. Protect your home and business today. Call A&A Lockdock, 352-867-1965. That's 352-867-1965.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin will be in the studio answering your questions about your lawns and your gardens on her show, In the Garden with Carol Ann.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events are bite-sized.
Dr. Linda Carroll is coming on. She's a licensed psychotherapist and certified in transpersonal psychology, and she's coming on to speak about her book, Love Cycles, the 5 Essential Stages of Lasting Love.
Have all of your disaster restoration questions answered by Joe Reichel on damage control.
And Elizabeth Hine is coming on. She's a cancer survivor, a coffee snob, and she's an author who writes about the people who go unnoticed in life. Her book is called How to Climb the Eiffel Tower, a novel about life and cancer. All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
WOCA AM 1370 96.3 FM.
Back at the sports page now, we go out to Denver and the Mile High Sports Guru, the guy who was recently named the top sports talk show host in the state of Colorado, like 40 years running or something. He's retired the trophy. Our buddy Joe Williams. Hi, Joe. How are you today?
Did you say 40 years running or 40 years ago?
I said 40 years running.
Oh, okay.
No, you're still. I think he said ago, Joe, trying to pick a fight with you is what he's trying to do. I don't need to pick fights with Joe. We just come about it naturally. We don't need to pick anything, and that's all it involves after all this time. Joe, I know. I was thinking this has been remarkable football season.
It sure has.
I mean, to me, there's been like up until really probably this next couple of weeks. I mean, there hasn't been a dog Saturday yet, has there?
There have been some very, very good games. The most recent being LSU's what you'd call upset of Ole Miss Saturday night. That was fun.
I didn't see that coming.
Well, I have to admit that I did.
Maybe you have better vision from the Rocky Mountains than I do on the SEC here in the Flatlands.
No, I don't. No, my vision is not. I just know that LSU, their last 31 games, they're 30-1 in home night games.
But they have not played very well at spots this year. I thought they were probably another season away from those kind of wins. But it also might prove that Ole Miss might have been a paper tiger or a paper rebels.
I think Ole Miss is very good. Yeah. I think they're very good. I just think it's college football. This is the landscape in college football that everybody is susceptible, and you can get beat if you don't play your best. And I don't see any teams out there of all these ones that we like, and I like quite a few of them. Most of them are located in the Southeastern Conference, but I don't see any team that really can't be beat on a given day or night. And if things happen to go their way. LSU was kind of a surprise, I think, because their quarterback play had been inconsistent, and it still is. They don't throw the ball very well, but it was a fun game, and we're on the eve of the first standings to be released by this committee And, I can already see it coming, just like y'all can.
Yeah.
That I can see it coming, that I'm starting to hear the preaching about, well, if you don't win your conference, you can't really be a part of the Final Four. And I know they're going to do that, and I think that's a shame that they don't have the guts to put the best teams in that thing, regardless of which conference that they play in, because that's what's supposed to happen. They're supposed to get it right. They're supposed to get the best teams. But you know and I know that's not how it's going to be.
Bingo, you hit it around the button. I just said earlier today that what concerns me here is that already they're backtracking on the SEC. They're going to find reasons not to put a one-loss or two-loss team for the SEC in there. And there may be a team like out there in Michigan State, Notre Dame, or Oregon, or somebody that gets in, instead of an SEC team. But right now, we know Alabama and Auburn are going to take care of each other since Ole Miss got beat already. One of those teams will get knocked off. But you can't tell me that Mississippi State or Alabama, one of those two teams, is not going to be worthy of being in the Final Four. And here's the thing, and I'll let you comment on this, and then Tom's got a question for you. If you look at the committee, once you take Jeff Long off there, who, by the way, is from Arkansas, it doesn't matter. He's the chairman. There really is nobody on there with any ties to the SEC. Not that they would be, Archie Manning had a tie. He now has stepped down. And if you read the names off and you read what teams they are looking at as the point person, the two guys looking at the SEC, Oliver Luck and Steve Weberg. Steve Weberg is sports writer from USA Today and the athletic director for West Virginia. They're looking at the SEC. All right, now, the rest of these people, there's some good people on here. I mean, obviously, you can't deny Barry Alvarez and people like that are good people, what have you. I don't know Mike Gold. But, I mean, I think they're going to be probably somewhat objective. But, Joe, you got to feel the pulse of college football to understand this, don't you? Don't you have to understand that why the SEC is and has been the dominant conference? And because they beat each other up, they don't all win, go one loss or go undefeated at the end of the year. Isn't that pretty much basic football 101?
Well, of course it is. And all you got to do is watch the games, and you can figure all this stuff out for yourself. These so-called conference champions who are going to end up being worthy, and we know Florida State's going to be one of them, and maybe they really do belong in there. I'm not sure they do, but by virtue of them being undefeated, which they will, unless Louisville figures out a way to upset them Thursday night, they will be undefeated, and so they'll be gained automatic entry and into the thing, and then they're already talking up the winner of the Ohio State-Michigan State game. They've already forgot about Ohio State losing at home to a very mediocre Virginia Tech team, and then plowing through a weak Big Ten schedule. The same with Michigan State, who lost by 20 to Oregon earlier in the year. Well, they forgot all about that now. That happened a long time ago, and so whoever wins that conference, they're going to be in there. The Big 12 is a joke, and they're going to put a team in there from the Big 12. Maybe somebody will get left out, but the point is they won't end up with the four best teams in that playoff, because by virtue, Tom knows, and I know, and everybody else listening out there knows, more than likely the loser of the Southeastern Conference Championship game will have two losses, and they'll just immediately dismiss that. They'll say, you can't go.
We're talking with Joe Williams, My High Sports Joe. Tom Schmitz here. You and Buddy are both talking about if Mississippi State wins the Egg Bowl, they run the table. They're going to the SEC Championship game. They should beat the East team. Then you either got a one-loss Auburn or a one-loss Alabama team.
Wait a minute. What if Georgia beats Mississippi State? What happens then to Mississippi State and the SEC?
They won't go.
Yeah.
But Georgia won't go either.
Oh, if they win the conference, they're going to go.
You think even with two losses?
Absolutely.
But here's the team that I think is the wild card in this, that I think gets in because of the schedule they played. The Golden Domers are in if they win out this year. If they win out the rest of the season, the Golden Domers at Notre Dame are in, because when you look at their schedule, they played almost a schedule as legit as an SEC schedule.
Well, it could be, depending on how some of these teams – they beat Stanford barely, but right now Stanford's not even in the top 25, the way they played out. Southern Cal is a borderline top 20 team, right? Notre Dame will play. Who else did they play?
They play the ACC schedule.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I don't know how in the world anybody. I can think of 4 teams right now in the SEC that would be favored over Notre Dame on a neutral field. Have people forgot what happened 2 years ago when Notre Dame beat through and went and played Alabama in that national? They didn't belong on the same field, and they're good. You wait, Tom. You may be right. They're going to do this again, and we're not. I'll tell you what. We may get a legitimate national champion, but they're not going to get the best 4 teams in that playoff. I can almost guarantee you, just by virtue of listening to all this carping about how, well, if you can't win your league, you really shouldn't be a part of the. I know exactly what's coming, and so do you.
You can't fool the hitman. Mile High Sports, he sees through all this folly. So that's why I love having him on the show. Joe, thanks so much, and we'll talk to you after the Tuesday pairings or rankings, or whatever you call them.
Oh, by the way, Buddy and Tom, I also had them send a memo on my behalf to the committee volunteering to take Archie Manning's place.
I'd vote for you. All right.
Boys.
All right, Joe, thank you. Joe Williams from Mile High Sports, and I want to thank Joe along with our guest today. Tim Ryan earlier this hour, along with John Brantley, coach of the Celtics, also of his from his Forest High School reunion from his 74 championship. Franz Beard you heard from earlier, and Tom Ingram from Gateway Bank. I want to thank him as well. So until tomorrow, on behalf of my broadcast partner Tom Spence and the great bandana, is that a bandana by the way, Johnny Walker, I'm Buddy Martin. Have a great evening, everybody.